Please stand if you visited your library recently to locate information in a set of encyclopedias. Someone may need to help me count. All right. All right. Please stand if you visited a library recently to locate the distance between one state and another state. Well, your responses are consistent with our findings as well. We know that we have an increased use of digital media and digital resources that certainly reduce the need for those print materials. Finish this sentence for me. If I need information, I'll take my device out and I will Google it. You're right. Absolutely. And guess what? The students do the same thing. They're no different. So we know that there's a tremendous need for the integration of technology into each and every day for our students.
For every one of these kids, school was the right place at the right time for them. And that's exactly what we want. That's what this game is about. We differentiate instruction. We learn to use these tools, even though we're already pretty good at teaching math. We're already pretty good at teaching history, right? Pretty good. We learn this stuff for the young people because we want to make sure it's in the right place at the right time. And that's what the transformation is all about.
This has been one of the easiest things I've done and been a part of. It is fire, and once you start it, it just spreads. Speaking from personal experience, I spent the first day with one of the trainers from Discovery Ed named Tom Turner, and he showed us some great stuff you can do with videos for the digital resources. And I said, okay, so I started using that and finding videos that related to the things that I was teaching using literature. And the kids just jumped on it. And then we started analyzing the videos for context clues and for theme and how it relates, and then comparing them and building strategies into that media use. And the kids were on fire with it. And then they come back to school the next day and they're like, I found this video, can we share it with the class? So we plugged in their device, and it just kept going. So then I started filming some of the kids doing this, and then I started showing my department, and then the other teachers were jumping on board. So it really just spreads all on its own. And it really engages students and engages teachers at the same time.
I knew that Discovery Education was going to be a game changer after I did a quick overview for our 6th grade class. As soon as I got done, they didn't have an assignment. I was just showing it to them. Their teacher was absent. They had a sub that day. Every computer was occupied. They could not wait to get home. What's that address? I got to write that down. One boy told me, I'm going to go home, throw down my book bag, and go right to Discovery Education. That level of excitement and the engagement, you know, they weren't talking, they were totally, completely engaged. They wanted to see how a video ended, and it's just very exciting to see them engage at that level. And, you know, we all learn as we go.
Something to add to that? I mean, is there a difference between this year and last year in terms of your engagement in school or the assignments? What do you think?
Absolutely. It is hard sometimes for me to give up control, but when you let them figure it out on their own, when you can relinquish that control, you'd be amazed at what they can bring back to you. And you learn, you know, just as much from them, if not more, than what they're learning.
Was there a moment when that happened you can think of when you thought, okay, I can breathe easier now?
I don't know if there's an exact moment, but it does absolutely simplify your life. You think it's something extra that you have to do, but when you do let it go, it makes it easier for you as the teacher.
Anything to add to that? Have you noticed any difference this year between this year and last year? What grade are you in?
It's been really easier because like every year we have to write like an EQT essay and stuff for each quarter. And using Microsoft and being able to type it instead of having to write everything out and being able to share it really easy with the teacher and not having to write however many pages, it's a lot easier. It makes it like you can work on it at home if you don't finish in class or anything. You don't have to worry about not being able to take it home with you. It's made it like it's made a big difference.
So it can be fun and all that stuff, but do you really think you're learning as much this year as you did last year?
Definitely. I think I'm learning more this year than I am last year because it's just so much more to like discover and explore and stuff, and I'm learning about just like different websites and everything. It's really helped a lot.
Our teacher usually gives us an assignment and she lets us flip the classroom. She sits down at her desk and we, 4 students usually, the 5, get up in the smartboard and teach the whole class a lesson. And using boards, it's easy because you don't have to write all those long sentences from here all the way to here. You can just type it up there and be done with it.
One thing that happened this year that was so cool is that in my older classes, each kid was working on a device, but they were working on the same board. It blew my mind because I didn't even know that was possible. And they were like, oh, look, Ms. Stringer, if I do this, it's going to show up on our board that we're creating together. And I was like, that's so cool.
And a little bit of bounce off, kind of what everybody has said here. They've talked about the boards, and at first I was like, what are they talking about boards? But I literally had 2 third-grade girls when we just pulled it up, 30 seconds after we showed them, they started jumping up and down saying, it's just like Pinterest. I can create it, I can do it, I can own it, it's my work. And so we are moving in this direction. They were excited about it, but also key for us has been, as soon as we had a training here, central office, we would go back, my team, I say we'd go back to the school, and immediately within a week, we would turn that around to the entire faculty and do it during our, what we call VST meetings. And so the grade levels come to me for 40 minutes. We talk about what we learned to do with the Discovery Ed. We had a Discovery Ed rep come twice a year. The first time, this is my 14th year teaching, the first time I've had teachers walk out of a professional development and say, the day wasn't long enough. We want to learn more.
It has been tremendous. I took a little poll at the beginning of this, how we use Discovery Ed, and every single piece of paper said we show movies on it. And the last meeting we had, the turnaround training we had with our faculty, I had a list with probably 28, 29 things on it of how we're using it now.
Well, considering all of the different tools that Discovery Ed has shown us, not to mention all the different things available within Discovery Ed, it makes it a lot easier to differentiate that instruction, because you can assign different things to different children, and they're all actively engaged at the exact same time, but just like the video showed, they're all doing something completely different. So it really makes that facilitation of the differentiation much, much easier.
How has the role of the digital media specialist changed in the last year? How, in terms of supporting all this work, how has that role changed?
That's a good one. I have to say that it's good you have that position in these schools, because it's not relevant, sometimes it goes away.
Yeah, really. As far as the digital part of my job, that part's become easier. It has. What it's done is it's freed me up to do what I need to do. When a kid comes into the library and doesn't want to check out a book, and I say, baby, why don't you get this book? Because I don't like to read. Well, have you ever read anything? No, I've never read. I tell you what, do you trust me? Can I help you find a book? Let's go look. I've got to be able to get one-on-one with these babies. And, these are 12 to 14-year-olds who, and a lot of them, this is where we lose them. This is where they don't want to read anymore. And it frees me up to be able to do that part of my job that I really, really love. And the kids need me to do that. Before, I spent a lot of time chasing my tail I've got 20-something computers in my media center. And, the kids are coming in to do, research and look things and do all these things they need to do. But they needed me because they couldn't find the information. Now they can. So they come in and you have your pass, you're here for research, yes ma'am. They sign in, baby, you know what to do, yes ma'am. Off they go. And they're at a computer and they're doing their thing, and I'll say, now, do you, you can't save it there on the computer, do you have, I don't need a flash drive. I don't need, I've sent this to my teacher already, blah, blah, blah. So it frees me up.
It's totally changed how I do. I'm not just in the library anymore. So it's not just me behind the circulation desk making sure everybody's behaving and making sure kids are checking out books properly. It's freed me up to go into the classroom with the teacher. She emails me and says, hey, I'm going to do this with Discovery Ed at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. Can you join us? Can you add to it? Can you help us with the project? So I'm actually leaving the media center and going throughout my school. One cool thing that we did in the Stringer's class is we did a virtual field trip with Chivani Yogurt. I sat there with my jaw just like that the whole time. The children were allowed to submit questions directly to this virtual field trip. live. And of course, we were with how many other schools at the time, and you'd see their questions come at the bottom. And so it allowed me to see what the teachers are facing in the classroom and not just stay in the media center. And then that catches wildfire through the school too. Those kids talk about that cool field trip that they got to go on, and they never left the classroom. So it totally changed my role and just not staying in the media center.
I used to have a set schedule, and I would keep up with what the teachers were teaching and their objectives, and I would plan my lessons according to that. But the teachers would drop off their children and leave, and I would do a solo lesson. Now my whole schedule has changed. The teachers don't come to me and say, can you teach this to the kids? It's, can we teach this to the kids? Can you help me plan and teach this? So my role is, I've become more into the teacher role, the co-teacher role, instead of the library lady.
Hello, it's me again.
Today I feel like a lot of the focus has been on us and what we've done and how we've learned, but I don't think we mentioned our Discovery Ed instructors enough. Without our instructors, and ours was Angela, shout out to her, we loved her. She was available to us every minute of every day. If we had a question, we could email her, we could call her. She came into our schools twice during the year, and she was very real life, realistic, and those who are wondering, my school's not like your school, I don't have this and that like you have. She looked at what we had. She looked at our teachers' abilities, our teachers' levels of technology and what they could do, and she looked at our students. And she helped us build plans and ideas centered specifically for us. And I think that, you know, they were very instrumental in helping our school, and I'm sure everyone else's presenters were as well in being successful. So, you know, you do have a helper, you do have that expert along the way, and I think that that was very important.
Can you track what the...
Awesome. What grade are you in? Third grade. Third grade. What are you looking at there on your machines? Oh, so that's a writing prompt, huh? Excellent. Looks great, guys.
Wow.